Hey everyone, Subman719. Today I'm actually doing an upgrade on the brakes. I have a pretty bad squealing problem coming from the brakes, from the rotors being heat soaked from doing some heavy towing. You can see they got some pitting and heat scorching and a little bit blued, so they squeal really bad. So I got to replace the rotors. I've already replaced the pads and did the anti-squeal process and everything, but the squeal came back relatively quick. So I have I ordered a set of drilled and slotted rotors from Auto Anything. It was a complete brake kit. It's got 2 front, 2 rear rotors, drilled and slotted, and it comes with the Z36 Extreme pads, carbon and ceramic infused, and there's the pad. Comes with new hardware, new stainless steel clips, even comes with new boots for the caliper slides, the caliper slide pins. Here's a shot of the pads backside, and it's got the anti squeal backing on them, but I'm also going to use the Permatex copper anti-seize between the pads and the calipers, just because copper doesn't break apart, it just compresses, and it'll help absorb some of the vibration and reduce some of the squealing. I got the caliper hung right there. I already compressed the 2 pistons by putting the old brake pad inside, and then use 2 C-clamps, which are right there. So I got the piston compressed, and it's hung with a caliper hanger off the suspension bracket. And I already got this side done. I'm going to kind of do this video in bits and pieces. I'll show you how I did this side when I get to the other side. And I'm doing all 4 wheels, so this was the first side. I just kind of was experimenting, and didn't want to drag you guys through all the problems that I would have come across, or did come across, with things being hung up and seized and stuff like that. But the one thing I do want to note is that the and this will be in a future video, I'm gonna have to replace the universal joint for the axle shaft, because that is leaking, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it in there. Yeah, there we go. You can see that the universal joint's leaking. So that'll be for another time, because this whole thing's gonna have to come back apart. But what I did is, on the inside of the rotor, I cleaned the hub assembly. I cleaned off the hub assembly. Luckily, it was had some lubricant on it from when it was installed at the factory. I used just a little wire brush, and I cleaned the little bit of debris off the hub assembly. And then I used the Permatex copper anti-seize, and I put it on the back side of the rotor, so when the rotor mounts on there, it'll have a little bit of a cushion in between this and the other thing. Like I said, the hub, and like I said, because of the copper, it doesn't break apart, it just compresses. It'll help absorb any vibrations, and the anti-seize compound will keep this from seizing up, and make sure it comes off easy the next time. And I just put 2 of the lug nuts on the studs just to hold this in place until I got everything together. Right now I'm in the process of removing and re-lubricating the caliper slides. This one's still in. You can see from the last time, this goes pretty easy. I got the other side out, and I'm going to use the ceramic silicone compound lubricant that they provide, just because I have Sil-Glide, which is right here, but it's just silicone. It doesn't have the ceramic in it, so I'm using what they provided, since it's got ceramic and silicone combination in there. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. You can see I just have this one side up. The rear wheels are chocked. Yeah, I got jack stands on both sides. Up on the control arms, and the jack is just sitting there. It's not even touching. Everything's being held by the jack stands, and just have a pan down there to collect all the debris so I don't have so much of a mess to clean up. And yeah, that's about where I'm at for now, and like I said, I'll take you guys through more detail when I get to the other side. Alright, I got the pins with the new boots installed. You see they move nice and free, nice and easy on both sides. And I use the copper anti-seize on the inside of the caliper bracket, and I'm going to put the clips over that. I'll put the stainless steel clips over that, and what that'll do is the copper, like I said, the copper doesn't break apart, so that'll act as a cushion between the clips and the pads, and help absorb some of the vibration and the squealing and stuff, and reduce that. So that's where I'm at so far, and then I'll put the clips in, and then I'll put the bracket back on, and go from there. Another thing I want to point out is these clips are unidirectional, meaning that there's two different types of clips, and you'll see that there's less on for the inside than there is clips for the outside of the caliper bracket. So the way this would go is this, with this little tab here, would go in here, in there like that, and that would hold on to the outside of the caliper bracket like that. And on the inside, I said there's less here. I'm trying to do this one on the phone. So that just goes in there like that, and then you just push that up in there, and then once you get your pads in there, that'll hold that all in place. But I just want to point that out, that the tabs go on the outside of the bracket, and then this part here sticks out to the outside. Alright, so here's what the finished product will look like. These tabs go towards the outside. Yeah, let's see. Let me flip this around, get this into perspective here. Let's see. Alright. So that's how it should look. The tabs with the little tangs right on the sides point to the outer, away from the rotor, and goes like that. And you have the top and the bottom, and it is easier to do. I've done it when it's on the vehicle. You can do it either or. I'm just doing it ahead of time before I put this bracket back on, just to make it easier to show you guys. But that's how that goes. Alright, the caliper bracket's on. You'll see that there's clearance on both sides, and this is what I was telling you about with the tabs. They face to the outer, away from the rotor, and you can see there's clearance down there, clearance over there. Rotor spins nice, and the slides move nice. Alright, now I'm going to put the pads on. Alright, pads are in. I will be honest, they are a little bit of a pain to get in because the clips takes usually, you got to kind of put them in a little bit of an angle to get them in, and then try to force them in, gently force them in to get these clips to push up. I started the inner one down on the bottom, and then I just used a screwdriver to wedge in between there, and just kind of pry it in place there to get it into the clip. But yeah, don't think that they're totally easy and just fall into place. If they fall into place, then they're too loose, then there's something wrong. It should give you a little bit of a hard time trying to get these pads in here. But there they are, the pads are in, and the caliper is going to go on next. Alright, I put the copper anti-seize on the surfaces of the caliper pistons where they touch the pads. I also put it on the inside of the caliper in here, just where the pads touch. And like I said, the copper doesn't compress. I'm going to clean that up. I just noticed a little sloppy there, so I'll clean that area up. But like I said, the copper compresses but doesn't break down, and that'll also help with the squealing, and it'll prevent and the copper also, it's a higher heat sustainability, so it'll won't break down. Alright, caliper is in place, the caliper bolts are tightened, and you can see that the caliper free floats nicely. And I don't know if you can see that the yeah, it's, I haven't pushed the pedal down so it didn't compress it, but caliper moves nice, so there's no problem with anything hanging up. And once I put pressure on that, that'll take up the slack. But before I do that, I'm going to do the other side. And for the lug nuts, I use a regular anti-seize, the graphite metallic anti-seize, and I just put that on all the lug nuts to keep them from having a problem getting off when those moments arise that you got to get them off. So yeah, always lube your lug studs with anti-seize. Makes life a lot easier when you're in a bad situation on the side of the road.